welcome to this session with Coach Arun. And today I'm going to talk about what makes the job of a first line manager or an FLM the toughest. So let's understand the three parts that I'm going to talk. Number one, what makes this job toughest? Number two, why? And number three, how to overcome this challenge that is given to all of us if we are really looking forward to progress in our life. So let's begin with that what makes this job the toughest. Let's first look at some of the research data and some numbers. The research suggests that 20% of the managers are doing a poor job as per their subordinates, while there is another 20% of the managers feel that they are not ready to lead any team as a first choice. And the majority, which is 60% of the managers have said that they have not received any training when they were transitioning from an individual contributor role to a manager role. So no wonders when you are in this situation, more than 50% of the managers are ineffective in any given organization. Now, under such statistics, it clearly makes sure that this job of a first line manager becomes tougher and toughest to many professionals who are entering and becoming manager on everyday basis. Well, the number one point is that too less a time or there are too many people to manage. A lot of people complain about that they don't have time to manage people and they are busy with doing so many other operational tasks that they don't have time to develop and spend time on the areas to work where they need to coach their teammates, or they have too many people that where they should give their time maximum and where they should give their time minimum, they are not able to make sure about it. The problem number two is that moving from being an individual contributor to a people manager. I think this is one of the most pertinent problem with a lot of managers, even if they are senior today or they have spent more number of years today, that they are yet to come out of their individual contributor mindset. So when they start working with their people, they feel that the entire work is their work and they get into everything and they make a mess out of themselves and they are not able to really live the role that they are supposed to do in that leadership position. Number three is giving tough or negative feedback. I think this becomes very difficult for many people when it comes to giving a tough feedback or a feedback on real improvement of individual. They will just go round and round, but they will not be able to talk straight into the eye and tell the person that what is wrong with you. Problem number four is performance management. Now, performance management clearly means that how you are identifying the pool of candidates or the team that you have in terms of their performance grid or the criterias that you have created to understand that how they are performing good in terms of skills, in terms of knowledge, in terms of the performance categories that you have created. And that clearly differentiates between a high performer and a low performer, and there is a different strategy to manage a high performer and there is a different strategy to manage a low performer and a medium performer. But if you don't know what is performance management, this remains a big question mark when you are dealing with this particular role. Number five is ability to balance. Now, when it comes to ability to balance, it becomes a big issue because on one hand, you are managing the top level leadership in terms of the vision, mission of the company and various other strategic things that is given to you to translate it back to your team. And when you go back to your team, it becomes the second challenge that you get a bounce back from them. What are the challenges that they are facing? So how are you balancing it? That demands a lot from you in this particular role, and that definitely makes it tough. Number six is interpersonal conflicts. A lot of us in this role will have to talk to various stakeholders Let's say we talk to marketing, we talk to operations, we talk to HR, we talk to sales head, we talk to our peers, we talk to, let's say, the customers, and of course your team. So when you have to reach out to so many people at different times, a lot of times the challenge of interpersonal conflicts arise, which creates confusion, which creates a lot of heartburns, and sometimes it creates a lot of controversies. And this role definitely demands a very high level of interpersonal skills. Next is balancing being a boss with your team and being a friend. Many a times you will see that if you are promoted internally within the peer group and you have to lead the same team, you are very friendly to those people who are like putting shoulder to shoulder to you a while ago or a few years back. And now you have to lead them, you have to command them, you have to take them to the next level. So it becomes very difficult how to create that balance of being a boss and being a friend. That also makes this job very tough. Next is to deal with employee with negative attitude. I'm sure if you, when you become a people manager, you definitely come across one or the other team member who is undergoing a lot of issues when it comes to managing stress, or their general behavior is very negative. So how to deal with them? Because the way you deal with them will set an example for your other teammates, and that is a test of you when you get into this exciting role of being a first line manager. Number 9 is dealing with pressure. This job has got tremendous pressure because, as I said, you have to percolate down these company strategy, the marketing strategies, the messages of vision that this company wants to achieve where you are working. And then you also have to listen to the day-to-day problems, challenges, and the market situations that you come across, and still you have to win. And that makes that little more with pressure. And the second part is that the shifting priorities of your boss. Today your boss tells you to go on the east, and in the afternoon he'll go that you have to go to the west, which means that there are definitely a lot of shifting priorities, and for him it is just a phone call to tell you that today you have to go do this, you have to go here, you have to go there. And that's where you are completely lost, that am I here to lead a team, or am I here just an operation manager? And that makes definitely this job tough. And last but not the least is insufficient authority and discretion to reward high performers. Now, in this role, let's say that you really want to motivate people who are doing high performance, but then you get a message, why are you spending money on this person, or why are you rewarding people just like that? This is not the way you should reward it. There is a reward and recognition systems that are given in the organization, and you are creating your own. So you don't have that authority or discretion, and every time somebody will come and tell you that you are not supposed to do this. And all these factors really make this job very, very tough. But let me tell you that once you are able to learn this particular piece of work, how to manage all these things, you really become a very strong leader. But the unfortunate part is that very, very few organizations really spend training, coaching, and development and mentoring of people when they are in their individual role. And that is one of the reasons that when you don't have that kind of a training, that kind of a mentorship, a lot of people struggle when they enter into this role, and all of a sudden you are responsible for 5, 7, or 10 people who start looking up to you, that you are the one who is going to do wonders for them. So in the next part, we will understand that why this happens in more details. So now let's understand that why the role of FLM is so tough or hardest. To understand this, let's go back and see that how a worker is transformed from being an individual contributor to a people manager role. So let's say that you are an individual contributor, and if you are doing well in your job with respect to your performance consistently over 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years, there are very high chances that you might get promoted to the next level. And you are made to sit on the seat from where you will be managing those people who are now doing your job that you used to do earlier as an individual contributor. But now your job has changed. Your job and your criteria of success is not how you effectively do their job, but to ensure that your team is effectively producing the results that is why you are being made to sit and responsible for. But many times people do not understand this. They really get messed up into all those problems that are happening around them, and they struggle, and that's what make this job very tough. Now the question is that why it becomes tough, because many a times the management ignores the other criterias while selecting a person. And what are those criterias? Criterias are that do they have influencing skills, do they have problem solving skills, do they know how to give and receive feedback, do they are they trained on how to do tough conversations, are they really good in communication skills. If they have not been trained and groomed over the years on these skills, these people, when they are promoted, they are definitely going to struggle a lot in the new role they are in. And let me tell you, friends, that if by chance you are working in a newer organization, or it's a newer multinational company, or it's a startup, and you are being made to work as a people manager, the requirements are more demanding. You need to not only attract talent towards your organization, but also retain that talent and produce results which are skyrocket. Probably this may not be the case with established companies or companies which have evolved over the years because of their processes and systems. But in those organizations, it takes many years to get promoted and move to the next level. So it's a very catch 22 position, that if you are in this role and you are not trained and groomed, you are going to face a lot of challenge and music from everywhere. And no wonders, because people are not trained, we see more managers than leaders. So there is no leadership coaching which is happening, which is leading to making this job very tough and difficult for many people across who are entering into this role as a people manager. Now we will understand in the next section that how we can overcome these challenges, what are the things that are available and which are in our control. Come to the how part of it, how to deal with these challenges, how to overcome these challenges. Well, what I can simply say, that if you are a first line manager, whether you like it or you don't like it, and you are still here, you still have around 20 to 25 years ahead of you to take up various management or leadership positions. So it's important to understand the game well and then play well and enjoy the game in the long run. I'm going to give you a few tips that will help you to strengthen your current level and overcome these challenges in your current situation. The number one thing that everybody expects from this position is the turnaround time. That means whatever that you do, you need to be very quick and fast and responsive to what's happening around you. Because whether you are an Indian company, multinational company, you are a new company, you are an old company, or you are a startup, everybody wants quick results. So do you have that ability of bringing good results in a very quick turnaround time is definitely going to be a success mantra for you. Number two is update yourself and read regularly. I think this is one habit that I'm finding that a lot of people are struggling these days, maybe because of technology, WhatsApp. Nobody has the habit of reading books. Why it is important? It is important because once you have a good habit of reading, you will be able to absorb a lot of knowledge and interpret that knowledge, which will help you to develop your analytical skills. And not only that, once you are updating, once you are reading, let's say you are having a meeting with your CEO, what will you speak in 2 minutes? Anything about politics, anything about pandemic, anything about economy, anything about the future of the industry. But are you prepared? Are you really updated? Are you reading on these lines? If you are, then definitely you will have a lot of conversation space with the top level, whether it is your customers or whether it is your CEO. And number three is prepare for the next role. Because if you are right now at your role struggling, I want you to look up to the next role. What all you need to prepare in terms of your future skills that are required to be developed in you, because you don't wait for any opportunity that will happen 3 years 5 years down the line. Opportunity can even come the next day or even tomorrow. So think about it, that if you are called for an interview tomorrow, and somebody asks you, okay, what different things will you do to bring more business to the company, and these are the things that should come. What different strategies that I will apply that will help me to overcome the current business situation. Make a note of it. Keep writing all those things in a notepad on a very regular basis whenever you get some idea. Why? Because these are all some good habits that you need to develop. The next is willingness to take tough decisions. As a manager, you definitely come across some difficult people to manage, and nobody wants to lay off people, but there are times when you have to take some tough decision of laying off people who are not coming up to the expectations with respect to results, performance, attitude, and skills. Now, why I'm saying that you need to be very particular about taking these tough decisions, because these are the decisions when you take with a lot of sense. Your senior leadership is watching on you. They are really looking on you, that do you have those kind of skills or not. So having said that, if you start working on these areas, they will help you to strengthen your current level. And last but not the least, you really need to develop your skills on managing people, how to be strategic, how to be a team player, how to be good in communication. And as a coach, I provide a lot of intervention when it comes to coaching, mentoring managers successfully in their current role. So I look forward to see that. If you really find any support, you can write back to me on my email ID, which is arun.thukral@hcnconnect.in. And if you really find that you are struggling right now and you are not able to bring success, then I'm sure this video can give you some insights about that, what you really need to work upon. It's not always the solution. It is basically first to identify what is the problem that I am living with, where is the main areas that I really need to work upon. So if you go back in the initial piece where I shared about those 10 problems that people are going through that makes their job toughest, you need to first identify that where do you put in. Or if you have anything else other than these 10, that can also be discussed about it. I look forward to your comments, your feedback, and if you really want to enroll on my 90 days program, feel free to reach me, and I'll be more than happy to support you, mentor you, and coach you. And last but not the least, if you find this video useful, do subscribe it, do share it with your friends, and I look forward for your motivation and comments below. Thanks a lot.